Have you ever tried to fix something in your business and as you explain it, the team, they're nodding along, but then they don't do it? The real issue here is that they're not bought into it, because the second it starts to sound like do it because the boss wants it, motivation to actually do it dies. Now, most MDs I find think that getting buy-in means spelling something out clearly, and that's perfectly understandable. People need to know what to do. But if people don't feel why it matters, they won't care regardless of how well you explain it to them. People don't give their best just because you've told them to do something. They give their best and they do what's needed when they can understand why it matters. Like where it should feel important for them and not just for you. When they can say things to themselves like, well, yeah, that makes sense. Or, yeah, that is worth doing properly, I can see that now. That's what drives things to happen. That's what drives performance. And that only happens when motivation to do it comes actually from within. And what I see going wrong all the time with businesses when they're trying to make improvements or roll out better ways to do things is that, like, the MD will spot that something's not working and then will look at a sensible way to make a change so that the thing starts to work, and then they'll explain what needs to change to the team, but the message doesn't land, and that's because it's missing what really gets people on board. You know, that's the moment there where you need to spark intrinsic motivation, internal motivation, so that they understand why it matters and not just what they need to do. And once you've then got your managers on board, it's really important that they pass the message down in the right way too. Because by the time it then starts to hit the wider team, it often sounds like, oh well, because David, the MD, says so. And the problem with that is that people just don't commit to instructions. They commit to meaning and to purpose. So if you want your team to take something seriously, then you need more than authority when you deliver it. You need actually to get internal, intrinsic motivation at that point from your team. Because when that's in place, people will do things, they won't need chasing. But what typically goes wrong is that the MD or their team will just skip straight into the task, like, you know, can you do it like this? And it's an explanation from now on. And yes, I get it, that is so much quicker up front. But, you know, it just keeps coming around again and again because, like, people aren't doing it, and or they miss a detail, or, you know, they just put in a half-hearted effort at best. So if you want people to really take ownership, then these three things I'm going to walk you through now are key. First of all, start with, like, why this change, why this improvement, why this fix actually matters for the business. And then link it to something that matters to them, or at least can make sense to them, and create then a shared understanding. So it's not just about processes and rules, it's actually them understanding what needs to happen and why that's important for them and for the business. Because when your team truly get these things, when they get on board, you won't need to manage them to do things, because they will be driving the changes. They will spot problems, they will fix them, and things run smoother then without you actually needing to think about and implement all these fixes for things. So if you find yourself saying something once, twice, or maybe 3 times, and it's still not happening, check whether your team are actually motivated to do it, or whether they're just nodding along to keep the boss happy. And if you want more practical ways to get your team delivering, then subscribe to this channel and check out the links below in the description, where I'm sharing a free 30-minute masterclass on how to drive accountability and get results from your team. So that's it from me for today. Hope it's given you something useful to take back to your business.